Hello. In today's video, we'll be going over a couple things to do with column charts in reports within Visual DB. So our end product that we want to produce is something that looks like this, where we have charts. In our top left, we can click a drop-down box to pick car brands that we want to look at for their car prices. So we can see here, we can pick a brand and then fetch it, and we can see all the information related to it. So let's get right into it. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to query our database, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to use Query Builder, and let's do used car sales query, like that. We're going to choose our connection. We're going to press continue. And now we get to choose our database that we're querying from. And we're going to choose our cars for sale table. And then we're going to pick all the different fields that are available within that table. We're going to add that table. And then another thing that we're going to do is remember in the top left where we could select the brand and specifically fetch that. How we do that is down here. And we can see right here, we want our brand field. And then if we click this drop-down arrow here, we can prompt user for value. And basically, this will allow the user of your report to fetch specific brands. Another thing that we can do, just to show a little bit more capability of this, is to get our year. And let's make our year greater than or equal to 2018. So basically, this will limit the query to used cars that are 2018 or later. So let's press OK. And another thing that might be important is our available values, but I'll show you what we need to do for that a little bit later. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to go to our reports, and we are going to create a new report. And let's call this used car prices report, right? And then we're going to choose the query we just created. So let's do our used car sales query. And then we are going to do the chart report type, not the table, because we want to graph these things. So we're going to press continue. And we'll notice here there's not a lot to see. First thing is that there's no drop-down menu for our brand. And this might be an issue, so let's go and fix that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our query. Remember, we are using our used car sales query, and we need to configure the prompt. And basically here, if there are any prompts for the user, we can edit them here. So for example, we can edit the default values. So let's say, for example, we want that to be BMW. And then also we can have available values. And basically this is like the drop-down menu, right? So we're going to get our available values from the same table, right? Cars for sale. And then we got to choose a value column, and that's going to be brand. And we want the value for brand. So we're going to press OK. And now if we go back to our report, now we have a drop-down menu, right? We can fetch stuff, but there's still not anything popping up. And this is because we need to edit our chart a little bit. If we press settings and design mode here, we can see our design over here. So first thing that we are going to do is for our values, we are going to put price. And then we also need to put a category. And for that, we're going to do model, right? So now we can see all these different models of a certain brand. So if we close this out, now we can go to different things, and we can click that. And an important thing to realize here is that right now we have an issue, right? $14 million for a car. I don't think that's correct, right? So we're going to go into design mode, and we can see here it says sum of price, and we don't want the sum of price. So we're going to go into settings, and we can make it the average, right? And we're going to press OK. Now we can see the average price of these cars. If we want to see the minimum of these cars, we can just press OK there, and we can see the minimum amount that these cars were sold for. We can do maximum as well, but I'm going to keep it at average, right? So in our values field, we can decide a way how we want to collectively look at this information. We can sum it, we can average it, we can take the minimum, we can take the maximum, right? And now we have a graph that looks a lot like what we wanted, which is really good. We can fetch different things, we can see the average prices of these things, but we can go a little bit further. If we go into design mode, we can go into series here, and we can check its status. So with the series, we're even more breaking the data down. So we'll see here there's a difference between new and used average prices, right? If we go to a different thing, right, we might have certified new and used, and we can see the difference between all these. For some cars, there might not be new available. For some, there might not be used available. So that's a way that we can break down our data even more with the series, but it is not required, right? So that is column charts in Visual DB. Just a reminder, up here is our chart type. Column is usually the one that's the default. So that is the one we were working on today. So that is column charts within reports in Visual DB. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.